What I'm going to do is, with the odd editorial insert, because it is so crazy, I am just going to read this story from Te Ao, which is a Māori online news organisation funded by you, the taxpayer. I'm going to read from Māori News on Te Ao. I'm just going to read verbatim this story because I could not make this up. If you ever wanted proof that the lunatics have overtaken the asylum, this story is it. So I am, as far as possible, without having my brain explode in disbelief, going to read you this story. And please, please bear with me. A new initiative by ARA, formerly the Christchurch Polytechnic, will see students studying automotive engineering in Te Reo Māori. ARA is in the process of converting its workbooks and assessments for its Level 3 automotive engineering course to Te Reo Māori after a request from yes, that's singular, a student educated in Kura Kaupapa Māori. That's Māori language immersion, been very successful. ARA has a policy that it must consider opportunities for learners to be assessed in Māori if a competent translator and assessor can be found. ARA's Academic Quality Assurance Manager for Trades, Julie McElwraith, said, by the way, Ms. McElwraith, there is an open invitation for you to ring the platform and explain this madness to us at any time you wish. But the story goes on. Ms. McElwraith said this when the request came through when the request for Māori language automotive courses came through, the Polytech moved to create the course, a first of its kind in the sector. Yes, you'd hope it'd be the first and last of its kind, wouldn't you? One of the challenges, according to Ms. McElwraith, was deciding how to handle the terms for car parts that didn't have Maori names. Remana Tutangahi, the ARA tutor responsible for the translations, explains that they had to think about whether to use transliterations such as kapareta for carburetor and create their own terms and submit them to Te Taura Whiri Te Reo, the Maori Language Commission, or simply to use the English terms. In the end, they decided to use the English terms. Tutangahi argued it was the best choice given the lack of appropriate vocabulary in the language. What do you mean? There's no te reo for fuel injector? I cannot believe that. It will provide a gradual growth rate for the language and speakers, he said. We do accept that currently our learners will end up in workplaces that use the English technical terms. What do you mean currently? As far as I am aware, there is no government grant scheme to build a Māori Tesla. There are no Indigenous motor vehicle manufacturers in New Zealand. Anyway, the story goes on. We will need to ensure any anticipated barriers to employment are minimised, McElwraith said. What would be a barrier to employment? I don't know. I'm starting to think of a few. We are looking forward to the time when this does not even rate a consideration. What really? A time where the international automotive industry decides to embrace Māori bilingualism at Formula One tracks and elsewhere. Is that really what you're waiting for? McElwraith says that might not be far off. My God, dreams are free. Since the student who first requested the literature in Te Reo says they hope to open their own mechanics business where Te Reo Māori is the primary language for both staff and customers. Okay, dreams are free. For me, this is a good first step towards providing speakers of Māori with an environment that lets them know their language is not foreign to this land and should not have to be foreign to the disciplines in which they wish to learn. That's according to Mr. Tutangahi. Amazing. Amazing. I do not know how you can run a bureaucracy and education system that allows poor, woke, silly, asinine decisions like that and moves like that to be made. One person who's been to Kura Kaupapa Māori has a silly dream of opening a Maori language-only mechanic shop. And an entire bureaucracy, state-funded bureaucracy of a state polytech, decides to indulge this silliness. The lunatics have taken over the asylum. Why are so many people leaving Polytech? Maybe they're sick of that woke BS. And damn it, Ben, here's an assignment for you. We're going to find out how much this silliness cost. Are they going to do this in any other disciplines? But I am sorry, BMW is not going to have Maori names for its parts, neither is the the global automotive industry as we know it. This is woke tokenism at its absolute worst. And Ms. McElwraith, you really are warmly invited to come on the program this morning or at any time and try and justify the stupidity that you are part of. This is not anti-Maori, it's pro-common sense. It's pro-decent spending of taxpayers' dollars. I guess it's fighting unemployment if you make up jobs for people, if people have to be employed to do the translation. But in any case, they're saying, because it's such a silly idea, we're going to use English names anyway. So what is this from Te Ao Māori News? Is it some piece of woke virtue signalling journalism? But it is part of, it's a great example of the problem of wokeness and how it takes away from real progress and decent application of taxpayer funds to programs that will actually make a difference. If anyone out there can see an upside or a positive to running a mechanics course in Te Reo Māori because one person wants to, could you please ring me or text me and tell me? Tell me how I've got it so wrong. Because until you do, I say the woke emperor has no clothes in this instance, and this is craziness. You're on the platform.